Alright guys, this is our second video. This is Ohio Disc Golf Amateur Style, or AM. I'm Josh Couch and this is
Billy Cooper.
And we are going to do an in the bag. This is going to be pretty basic because we're amateurs, we really don't know what we're doing. So if we say a disc wrong, please do not crucify us. We have no idea what we're doing. We just have the basic idea of what it is. I throw mostly a Nova. Billy's kind of like a mixed bag. So we're just going to show you what's in our bag. Alright, so I'm going to start out with my basic putters. I have two Yeti Pro Aviars. They are the 4-time world champion putting. Just got the basic white and the basic red. Nothing special, they're pretty hard. They fly pretty straight. I use these for about 45 and in. Pretty consistent with them, so they're my go-tos. Recently I've got two Novas, kind of like a Macbeth. You know, if he's doing it, why shouldn't I? Got one that's understable, one that's pretty overstable. They're pretty good discs. They're just weird because they've got these little notches on the back. Got the flat top Rhino, and then of course I have my very overstable Champion Gator. I got this at Hazy Shade, celebrating 15 years in the shade. This disc is literally a meat hook. I mean, you throw it out there to the right, it's going left no matter what. That is a must in disc golf. You have to know what your disc is going to do. Like I said, I have a lot of putters. Strangely enough, I do use these, all of them, differently. So it's kind of weird how disc golf works like that. You have 10 different putters and yet you use every single one of them. So especially when starting disc golf, putters are a necessity. You have to learn how to throw a putter before you can throw anything else.
Alright, I definitely don't have as many putters as he does, but I don't throw putters nearly as much as he does. He throws putters. I've seen him throw putters on 300-foot holes.
So,
I carry 3 putters. First one is my basic, my main putter, my go-to putter. It's an R Pro AVR. I believe it's max weight, and I've had this for about 6 months. I had another one, lost it in the water, but I will be getting another one of these. But this is my go-to putter. Next putter is it's a PA3, and this is definitely the putter I use in the wind. It's very stable, not really overstable, just flies straight. I drive with this putter a lot, use it a lot for upshots. And my last putter is my go-to upshot disc. It's an R Pro Rhino. It's overstable, definitely a great upshot disc. So that's those are my 3 putters.
and for some of you who are learning disc golf in the beginning, if you get an R Pro and you are a forehand player, which is a lot of people start out with forehand. I mean, it's the easiest way to throw the disc. The R Pro Rhino is a perfect forehand putting shot, so that's a very good disc to have. So with that being said, let's switch to mid-ranges, which is the next highest group of discs. I have 4 mid-ranges right now. This is my new favorite disc, the Champion Shark. This is a very good disc. You can use it with the wind, you can use it without the wind. Then I have the Rock 3 Champion Plastic, very overstable disc, but once you beat it in, it's going to be very stable. Got this at Played Against Sports. This is an old school Rock 3, max weight, very good for wind shots. If you want to cut through that wind pretty easily, this is the one you want to go with. And then of course I've got my KC Pro Rock 171, pretty much your everyday mid-range. If you're a Nova fan, everybody's got a Rock. Very good disc. You want to use it with the wind, without the wind. Rock's going to do what you want it to do. If you're starting out, you've never played before, you should have a rock and a putter. That's all you need. Once you learn how to throw a rock, you can throw anything.
I carry 4 mid-ranges as well. The Mako 3. It has 0 turn, 0 fade. So pretty much this tells you how well you are progressing as a player. However you throw this disc is how this disc is going to go. Josh actually just gave me this Mako. It's just really just a backup. I haven't even thrown it yet, but it's the same thing. The only difference is this is in Champion plastic and this is in Star plastic. Another mid-range I have is this TI Buzz. This disc has saved me a lot. The newest mid-range I got, OS Buzz. This is always finishing left. It doesn't matter how you throw it, it's going to finish left. It's very overstable, and I don't throw my mid-ranges nearly as far as Josh does, but I feel comfortable throwing Buzz OS's, and the other Buzz and my Makos are definitely my go-to mid-range.
Buzzes are the best mid-ranges in the game. If you believe that, I don't believe that. He does. I've seen him throw this a very long way. This is a newer disc for him. I guarantee you once he figures it out, puts this on an ante, nice little sky ante shot, I'm telling you 350 feet is definitely a possibility with things. Billy's still learning the game, so he's allowed to have these kind of discs, but this time next year he's not allowed to have Makos. So let's go to the next. We're going to go to Fairway drivers. These are like your in-between, kind of like you don't want to throw a driver, but you don't want to throw a mid-range because you think you're going to be short. These are your discs. We'll start with the Eagle. I recently put this in the bag. It is a 7-speed. So your mid-ranges are a 5-speed. This is a 7-speed, so just a little bit more. Just got to put a little bit more speed on it. Very glidey disc. You put this thing out to the right, and this thing will literally hold its line all the way to the basket left. I've come so close to acing with this disc so many times, and I still don't have one with it. I think this is going to be the year, though. Just got done playing in a tournament at Cabin Creek where we won, by the way, plug. We're going to come back next year, by the way, and beat you, everybody, intermediate. So yeah, Eagle. I love this disc. I have a Star T-Bird. This is a 11-time T-Bird. Very understable. It's a max weight 175. You put it on an ante, it's going to hold that ante for a very long time and then just come back just a little bit at the end. This is like a very, very straight disc. You're having a bad day, start throwing this. It's going to go straight the whole way and then finish just a little left. Of course, I've got my baby. This is my 12-time T-Bird. If there's no wind, I'm throwing this disc.
I know these flicks aren't fairway drivers, but I use them as a fairway driver, just by the definition of distance. These are forehand discs. They're flicks made by Discraft. I don't have a very good forearm, but 250 and under. I'm decently accurate with it. It was one of my first discs I had when I first started playing last April.
The flicks are a basic forehand disc. Absolutely. When you're starting and you go to a shop, they're going to say, "What do you like to do?" "Oh, I like to forehand." They're going to give you this disc.
That's exactly how I got it. This is the same type of disc he had, a 12-time champion T-Bird. I do not throw this disc nearly as much as I should. The biggest thing I've learned in disc golf, especially with all the different types, the hundreds of different types of disc, is you can't throw every disc. You just can't. I mean, you gotta pick some disc and build your bag slowly and get used to the disc you have, so you know what they're gonna do. My new favorite disc. Started using this about a month ago. It's a G-Star Leopard 3. I recommend it to a lot of people. It's always going to flip. It's going to go right. Those are all the fairway drivers I have.
Alright, so when it comes to distance drivers, you have all kinds of speeds for all kinds of arms. That's the reason you have different kinds of speeds for different kinds of discs. You got guys that like to throw nice and smooth. They're going to throw a 9 or a 10. You got guys who throw really, really hard. They're going to have anything between a 13 or a 12. First disc I'll do is my Champion Valkyrie. You can throw these things up to 400 feet if you really, really crush them. You can use them in the wind. You can use them without the wind. They're going to hold that line. I've got a Thunderbird. This is a Paul Macbeth. The stamp is worn down because I've had it for about a year and a half. This is probably the best disc in the game when it comes to like what you need a disc to do. You can throw it nice and flat. It's going to hold, and then just finish left. So, you're not playing good, pick up the Thunderbird and throw it. Then I got my 2 Firebirds. This one is my 12-time Ken Climo. Got a lot of Ken Climo stuff. This is a meat hook. I'm telling you, this thing is going to finish left no matter what you do. You could have a 35-mile-per-hour wind in your face. This thing's going to go through it like there's nothing there. These are your bailout discs. If you start out and you like a Firebird is what you need. I got this disc from Josh Barnhill. He pretty much set me up with this. I mean, this disc could cost upwards to $100. Pretty much got this from him pretty much for nothing. He's a very good guy. You ever see Josh Barnhill, he'll hook you up with anything. He runs Boom, if you know that. Boom, I'll have a logo right here. Pretty much is like, he's like the go-to guy. Very good guy. He's always happy, man. I don't know how he does it. He's always happy every time you see him. He's smiling. Josh Barnhill, shout out to you. So this this Firebird has become more stable. So usually with a Firebird, it's always going to finish left. This one will finish left, but for some reason, this thing flies so close to the Destroyer, it's insane. Even though it has Destroyer stamps on it, it's still a Firebird.
Start off, just got this disc. I won it in a tournament a couple months ago. It's a Thunderbird. It's got a pretty cool stamp. It's a 171 weight. It's a great disc, especially in the wind. My next disc, trying to get away from these, to be honest. These are Champion Sidewinders. I got 2 of them. One's got the Echo Valley Open. Josh and I played in that last year, Tony Waterfall's tournament. I used these a lot when I first started playing. Now, as I've gotten a little bit better, I turn these over way too much. If I don't throw it smooth, I'm constantly turning them over. They're great discs, I mean, especially for beginners. Sidewinders, probably the #1 disc I would recommend for a driver. This is a Champion Beast. This disc, I can start this on a hyzer and it's going to go right as long as I throw it hard enough. If I take a little bit off, it'll fly straight and finish left. This is by far my favorite disc in the bag. I love this disc. I can throw it on 250-foot holes. I can throw it on 350-foot holes. And this I just got from Josh a couple days ago, and this is beaten. This is a Star Beast, so it's the same disc as this, a different stamp obviously. But this one is beaten, so that it makes me feel better because I threw this the other day and it flies very similar to the Champion Beast. So it makes me feel good. This one is going to eventually do the same thing.
What you want to do with your disc in your bag once you get to a certain level is you want to have backups for everything, because you've got water, you've got hazards, you've got force where you just don't want to, climb into the thorns. You got to have backups, and that's what we do. We have backups for everything. You've got a Star Beast, you want one that's beat in, you want one that's not beat in. You got a Firebird, you want one that's beat in, you want one that's not beat in. You want to have as many copies of everything. Even if you don't put them in the bag, have them at home. If you got a disc and it's your favorite disc, you should have 10 of them. If not 20 of them, because you're eventually going to be like, alright, this is not working anymore, time for the next one. Alright, we're going to start with our 12 speeds. I've got a Katana, very beat in, it's a Star Katana. This right now I just put in the bag. Billy actually just asked me, he's like, well, you just put a Katana in the bag? Yes, I did. I usually don't throw Katanas because they're really flippy and you throw them, it's just kind of like a beast, like just a little bit more beefy. I use this for mostly forehands, throw it on a nice little Annie, it's going to go out to the left, come back to the right. Pretty good disc, pretty basic. I don't know really much about katanas. I just know that this one specifically is really good for forehands. I have 3 destroyers in the bag, kind of like a destroyer buff. Started with 7 in the bag and I'm down to 3. I have a G-Star destroyer, I have a Champion destroyer, and then I have a Star destroyer. Paul McBeth's new baby, I guess is what you call it, the Shrike. Right now they only have it in G-Star, at least where we have our spots. I want to get a Star one. I don't like G-Star. I've got a destroyer, but I don't like the G-Star plastic. I can throw this thing a crazy amount.
Alright, I do not have the arm that he has, or a couple other of our friends that they have, but I have learned over the past 10 months I've been playing that you definitely need some higher speed disc just for different types of shots. If you've been playing at any time at all, you do know that. I mean, there's holes that are, just you have to throw left, or you have to throw right, or you have to throw far. I mean, there's 500-foot holes. So you definitely need to at least step up your game a little bit to try to get your arm speed up a little. First disc is a 12 speed. It's an Outlaw. The reason I bought it was I was trying to throw a destroyer. I bought a couple of destroyers and I don't have the arm for it, or at least I haven't learned how to throw them correctly yet. But I went to Hazy Shade, which is up in Dayton, and this is the same mold as a destroyer. The guy that started this company, Legacy Disc, used to be with Innova. So I have a G-Star Katana. He touched on it earlier. Katana for me is very similar to a Beast. Except I can throw it farther. My next disc is a Champion Destroyer. I very rarely throw this backhand. Really, the only time I do is when I need a shot, that's going straight left. What I use this disc for is thumbers and tomahawks. If I throw a thumber, it's going right. If I throw a tomahawk, it's going left.
If you're still with us in this video, we appreciate it. This is our disc, this is our bag, and yeah, hopefully our next video is a little bit more entertaining. This is basically just give you kind of like an intro. This is it's our second video. First one's kind of rough. This one's gonna be a little bit better. If you guys got any questions, any comments, put them in the description. Subscribe for weekly videos. We're gonna try to do 2 a week. Practice, field work, tournament play, all that stuff. It's gonna be there non-stop. We've got other people that we still have to interview, other people we got to still see what's in their bag. We got Tommy, we got Zach, we got Mark, we got Alan, we got Jason, we got everybody that's still got to see their bag. Everybody's got a unique little twist. Like I said, I've got more of like a strong bag. He's got kind of like a more of a smooth bag. He's more of a controlled player. I'm more of a pray and throw as hard as I can kind of player. We all have a different little look on disc golf, and we all have different style. So yeah, we're going to have descriptions in the bottom of every single disc, weights, stuff like that, where you can get them. And stay tuned for the next video.